Welcome, I'm Daniel, your host with Neck Up Design. Today we're going to continue our series of theatrical makeup design with a conversation about 1920s. It's one of my favorite periods to do, especially for theater. We're going to talk about the application of foundation, the prevalence of the smoky eye within that time period, the lip design and cheek of that time period. But before that, I'd like to start with a conversation about the historical factors that makeup played within the 1920s. At that time, you have to remember that movies were in black and white. So in terms of color for makeup, the eyes are going to be more smoky, more black, white. That's where your contrast is. The really only color you're going to see will be the lips, which are red. And again, because everybody emulates the makeup off of movie stars, think about the movie stars of the 1920s.
Nowhere, and I don't care. All your kisses weren't waiting for rain. Daddy, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, me and my radio, babe.
The first stage in creating your 1920s look is choosing a foundation. Now remember, in the 1920s, the skin was a lot lighter. Number one, it was seen that you had more money the lighter your skin was. Quite a big difference from today. So I'm using Ben Nye's palette, and it has different shades from the fairest light to the darkest, and identifying the foundation that I want to use on her today. What I'm going to use on Andrea is Butterfly Geisha from Mehron. I'm applying Mehron's Cream Stick Foundation in Butterfly Geisha, which is several shades lighter than Andrea's skin tone. Cream Stick Foundation, if you're using it lightly, it's going to be a full coverage foundation, but you can keep more control of blending. Otherwise, you can pat in the makeup if you want to get a stronger pigment. Also, around the eyes, make sure you do a full coverage on the eyes, because we're going to go back in to do our 1920s smoky eye treatment. I'm using Ben Nye Neutral Set Powder right after the foundation to set the cream foundation. The heavier the cream foundation, sometimes the heavier the powder you'll need just to set it. Again, the nice thing about using a sort of a grease paint based cream stick is that under lights of the stage, the makeup actually tends to adhere to the skin better. We're going to start our smoky eye application by working and blending within the contour of the eye. What's important to remember with the 1920s is that the shape you're looking for is an oval shape, not a cat eye shape, which would be curving up the edges or ends of the eye. So I'm going to go into the contour and I'm going to blend down. Okay, so my darkest color is within the contour of her brow bone. And then at the end of the eye, starting to shade and blend. The next step in the smoky eye is leaving the space in the middle of the eye and then above the brow bone. So there's going to be 3 colors in our application. The first one's the black, and as you see, I went through the contour of the bone, at the edge of the lid, and then a little bit on the lash line, leaving space in the center. My second color would be a darker charcoal gray, which I will apply in the center down to the tear duct. It's really important with makeup, if it's theater or beauty, that you completely cover the eye in some capacity. My third color will be on the brow bone, and it'll be a lighter color, possibly a white or an ivory highlight. Alright, once you're done with the top of the eye, you're going to come down to do the bottom. I always start with, especially if I'm doing makeup on somebody else, taking my pinky, pulling down the eye, and going right on the lash line with the black pencil. We're going to end up doing a little bit of a treatment with this black after I apply it. especially with the 1920s, the most important thing to remember is that the black comes just a little bit down in the corner. It makes it look a little sadder, actually, but that was the trend back then. After I applied the black pencil right at her lash line underneath, I took that same black shadow that I used to start the smoky eye on top, and I started right here under the eye, and I just started blending and pulling it down slightly just to give that illusion of bigger eyes, a little more sad baby doll eye of the 1920s, and then I blended it all the way up through. The farther you are from stage, the darker you can go with your black shadows, and the little more dramatic that you can do. A great example of that is Liza Minnelli. Back in the 70s when she was in cabaret, she did a really great smoky eye. Take your brush along your nose to the top of your eye line like that, and that's where your eyebrow should start. And then also, the end of your eyebrow should be diagonal with the end of your eye. Okay, so that's just a little trick. If you took your brush, you'd be able to determine where the starting and stopping point are. Alright, so I'm going to take a black pencil, and starting, after determining where her starting point is, I like to start a little bit lighter, and then I can go back over and make it darker. Our next step is picking a cheek. The cheek in the 1920s was really just the apple of the cheek. I'm picking Dusty Pink by Ben Nye. You can smile and literally just hit your cheek. Okay? And again, it kind of gives that baby doll look too of the 1920s. We've come to the last part of our 1920s theatrical stage look, and that is the lips. The lips in the 1920s was more of that, with that baby doll look. It's a heart shape. What I like to do is, again, take the same foundation, and I'm going to come in, because the lip was a little bit smaller and in the center of the lip. So I'm going to just take the foundation, and actually, I'm going to blend on each side away her lip. Okay. And already you can tell that you're getting that baby doll, more pouty lip. So it's a smaller lip, actually. I'm taking the Ben Nye lip color pencil in really red. And I like to start with my Cupid's bow on either side, making a V, curving around and down. Start that heart shape and then filling it in. As you can see, we did a heart shape, again that baby doll look on her lip. A little trick as well, you can take your synthetic straight edged brush into your foundation and go around your lips if you need to. It does one of two things. It cleans up that shape better, makes it more even. And then if you took a color that was just a little bit lighter as you go around it, that would also make that lip stand out more. And that concludes our lesson on 1920s makeup for the stage. Are you ready to go to the speakeasy, Andy? That's what I thought. All right, remember to like me on Facebook and just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm at neckupdesign.com. Go ahead and ask me any questions you would like. Again, my portfolio works on there. And stay tuned for many more videos on more eras and looks coming up. Thank you.